Oh, right. Start of a new vid. Which, again, is just going to be a load of clips of whatever I find. And this next jump is taking me to another carbon star. This is another one that I've never seen before. A CJ star.
Frameshift drive charging.
So let's see what this is all about. No idea what awaits me. All I know is that I can't fuel scoop from it.
4, 3, 2, 1, engage.
So, well, it's sort of something new. It looks like an MS or a CN or all the others. It's the same size, we're 125 light seconds away from it, but it is a new type anyway. So I have not seen a CN before, or a CJ before rather. There we go, CJ star. And there's pretty much bugger all else here. That looks like an M, that might be a K, that's another M. Well, I might be able to scan the K. So I don't know if that's the K or the M that I'm scanning from here. We'll soon find out. So that is the K, but I can scan the M from here as well. Can't scan the other one because that's way too far away. There you go. So that was a CJ star. Looks exactly the fucking same as a CN star or an MS star. So whereabouts am I? Well, I'm here at show by AB-A D307. Plenty of neutron stars and white dwarfs still all around me. If we zoom out, that's how far away I am from the populated zone. I'm not going to bother going to check out that nebula there, the Hyuqu one, because, well, if we go and take a look, oh what a shock, it looks identical to the fucking Witch's Head and the 1,000,001 other nebulae that all look like it. So I can't be asked. I've seen it all before. I want to see something new, although I'm not having much luck. That's the nebula that I was at the end of the last video. Well, I'm in an area which is pretty much in the border with the, zoom out again, I'll show you, so I'm right at the edge of the core region, but you could say I'm now outside it if the core region is this part here. So I have gone beyond it, but yeah, it looks like I'll be heading into a fairly empty region soon, and well, it'll carry on at that rate. I mean, I doubt I'm going to travel this far. Where does this take me? It would if I had all the stars showing, I suppose. Yes, I don't think I'm going to make it as far as the Drute region, even though I could if I just kept zooming on as I am, because I have about 21,000 to go, but I'm going to what nebula is this? Oh, it looks just like the fucking jellyfish one again. That looks just like the one I've just been to. So there are quite a few nebulae in the area, but they all look exactly the fucking same as ones I've already been to. As I keep saying, I want to find somewhere new. So that's another one that looks like Witch's Head. What about this one here? That looks like California. That's another Witch's Head one. What about down here? That's another California one. So, well, I haven't given up as far as nebulae go, but I've got to find some interesting ones. And I've also got to fucking sort out those cunts on those fucking motorbikes. And so far I haven't found any interesting ones. So we are at 6,240 systems visited. Max distance from the start of 35,169. Total height of space jumps of 11,049. Total height of space distance of 192,473. So we're getting through it, but there doesn't seem to be very much in the way of interesting stuff around me. Right, well, I'll be back when something crops up. Okay, another update. And this system that we are about to jump to, show IJH-V-D2-1340, is another system that has a carbon star in it. It's a Type S. I'm not sure what it will look like, but well, we're about to find out. And perhaps more importantly, I do finally have another destination that I'm heading to, which I'll show once we've scanned this star and seen what else is in the system. Okay, so it looks just like the MS and CN and CJ. It's a bit bigger. 145 light seconds away from it. Everything else is far too far away for me to be bothered scanning, but we'll take a look what's here anyway. Okay, now so there's, that's, well, okay, this place has actually already been scanned by someone. That's a rarity in itself. I wonder he didn't scan everything. Yeah, he scanned the two potential water worlds. That's he didn't bother with anything else. I think he was being a bit optimistic, thinking that would be something important. He's already scanned this thing. I can't be asked. It's 15,000 away. Alright, well, let's get away from the star anyway, and I'll show you where I'm heading. It's not that nebula that you can just see in the background there. May as well fly towards it. But I'm not 100% sure what that nebula is. I have found quite a few large nebulae in the area. Well, I say in the area, north of Sagittarius A star. But they all look just like the ones we've already been to fuck knows how many times before. Indeed, the place that I'm actually heading to, my destination, is another nebula that looks just like the kind we've seen before, but it is Hyuqu AA-A H14, and it is quite a long way away. Looks like I spelt, yeah, that's where I went wrong. Right, it's over here. So it is a nebula, but it's a big bastard thing. And that's huge. And if we put all of the stars in, you can see this looks like being the only system within it. It is a neutron star. It's 10,350 light years away, so it is quite a distance. But it looks like I may have to use an FSD boost to get into, or get to that neutron star. Now that neutron star is almost certainly the point of origin of the nebula. I mean, just look at the size of this nebula. It's only Barnard's Loop is bigger in terms of nebula I've seen. You can see how few systems there are around it, and this is now showing all system types. But I'm still going to give it a go. Yeah, okay, I do have quite a way to go before I can get there. So this is where I am. And as you can see, even with all of the systems or star types selected, yes, okay, it's still dense compared to the populated zone, but it's nothing like as dense as it was when I was going through the core region. I'm pretty much on the outskirts of the core region now. Once I've set the course, I'll show you just how, actually fuck it, I'll show you now. So that's the nebula I could see in the distance there. That's the Hyuqu one. Looks just like Witch's Head. Shock horror. Well, that's where I am. So I am outside the core region, and you can see that I'm starting to enter an area where the stars are not so dense. In fact, they're nothing like as dense as they were, you know, in and around here. They're much more of the density back in the populated zone, which is, well, you can see 35,240 away, well, from the hat. But that's where I'm looking to go. I think it's going to take roughly 350 jumps to get there. So I'll definitely make it, you know, before running out of, you know, before I hit my target of 7,000 jumps. But actually getting into the system itself, that's going to be the tough part. Oh, that's okay. Neutron star. Fuck it. We'll make that the destination. No problems planning the route. So, well, 33 jumps to get to that neutron star. My exploration stats are then systems visited 6,253. Max distance from the start 35,361. That is going up each jump, but not by a huge amount, because I'm now going northwest rather than straight north. 11,062 total height of space jumps, and total height of space distance 192,848. I'll also show all modules still 100%, so they're all still fine. Hull is still 100%, so
drive charging.
I'm okay there. I have no idea what my integrity is, but it's probably not all that healthy. So I will be back when something interesting happens, or if I find somewhere that might be interesting. Doesn't look like there's going to be very many places like that until I reach that nebula. So I think updates are going to be a bit thin on the ground at the moment. But once I've got to that nebula, I mean, I'm still going to be about 400 jumps or so from you know, my system's visited target. So there will be other places I go, you know, up from there. Now, as in heading north or maybe northwest or northeast, so it really doesn't matter as long as I'm heading north in some way or other. But it is now quite sparse. There aren't a huge number of interesting things to see.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Right, well there you go. I'll be back when there is something to come back to. Right, I'm gonna land on this planet. This is the first time I've landed on a planet that isn't in a nebula for a fucking long time. But it's the first time I've done it at all on this trip. But there is something that I'm quite keen on seeing. The system we are in is Hyuqu VE-HD10-91, and this system has a carbon star as the primary star. So I thought I would come along and scan it. And this planet is only 88 light seconds away from the star. It is also high metal. Now, it being high metal isn't really that big a deal, but after my trip to Betelgeuse, which was a while back, when I landed on the planets there, seeing the stars that close did look quite impressive, especially when the star is the size of Betelgeuse. Now obviously here it's nowhere near as big as Betelgeuse, but it's still a fair old size. So let's have a look. One thing I forgot to do was check the gravity, but it's fine. Let's see if we can land in this crater. Could. There we go. Right, let's give this a go. Right. 59 fuel. Oh fuck it, we'll use this one. I can then do some synthesis and pick up some materials from the surface of this planet, if there are any worth having. Alright, so there's the star. So yeah, it's a fair old size. It's not as big as I'd hoped, but you can't say it's small. Right, now let's have a look for some signals. I think I've rather fucked up a little bit here. I don't think I'll be able to fit them all into one screenshot. There's one way to find out. Now the star is, yeah, it's up here. So, well, maybe if we get in a bit closer to the asp, we can fit Nah, it's just not quite right. Bollocks to it, I can't be asked to fart arse around with fucking camera angles and bollocks like that. Right, let's take a look at some of the signals here and see if there's anything worth nabbing. Oh, try not to drive straight into... I'm sure this SRV took quite a hefty amount of damage last time. So is it automatically repaired every time it goes back into the ship? Because it's now back at 100. Well, last time I took this out, when I found that bullshit fucking nav beacon, while I was 33,000 light years away from the populated zone, it was down to about, I think it was either 79, 80, somewhere around there. And now it's back to 100% again. Well, if that's the case, then I suppose it's handy, but it's also bollocks. Let's turn the lights off. One thing we certainly don't need around here are the lights. We've got this huge bloody great sun illuminating the whole surface. This is something else I haven't done for a while actually, is land on the our planet on the daytime side. Usually I'm in a nebula landing where I can get the ambient light of the nebula, i.e. night. Right, what have we got? Nickel and iron. And another iron. So, the good old sack of fuck all. Right, where's the other one that caught my eye? Over here. It's not that far away. Now, I must admit I was quite impressed with the response to my last video, the ranting one. It was up for about 30 minutes before it got its first dislike. So yeah, the moronic fanboys are out in force. There's vanadium. Do I really need that? Almost certainly not. Would help if I went to the right one. Oh, there is vanadium. I've got 22. Well, I do use it, but what I'll do, I'll artificially inflate my materials collected thing by dumping it and then picking it up again. There we go. Right. Well, I think there is a chance that I could be on this planet service for a little while, so I'll spare you getting bored shitless by me driving around here. So I'll pause this for the moment and I'll come back when there is something to come back to, or when I'm heading back to the ship and show you what happened here, if there's anything worth reporting. So there we go, there is the star, nice and big, pretty close. And yeah, it is a carbon star, another MS. So I'm scanning, you know, a decent number of those, well, a decent number of carbon stars. They're not all MS stars, and my ship's now buggered off. So yeah, I will be back in a few. Right, another update. It has been quite a while since I did the last clip. I've covered about 3,000 light years, maybe more. I'll slow it down for a moment. So, systems visited is now up to 6,379, Total hyperspace distance is now 196,567, so just under 2,000 to go, and then it will be 50,000 that I've covered on this trip so far. Total hyperspace jumps of 11,188, and max distance from the start is currently 36,942. That's been going up a lot slower because I'm now heading in a northwest direction. Indeed, I have been for a while. Now that nebula you can see in front of us is the Phraa Byoe AA-A H14 Nebula. That is about 1,200 light years away. Obviously I will be stopping there, having a look. It's not the nebula that I plan on going to, but I have to go through it in order to get to the Hyuqu Nebula. So I'll be taking a look. But this next system is another Class A blue supergiant. So let's take a look and see what this one is all about. See if it's as good as the last two.
4, 3,
I haven't seen
1, engage.
very much at all for quite some time. This is a really boring and empty region of space. Okay, I've scanned some okay planets, you know, water worlds, Earth-likes, whatever. This is not such a good supergiant. In fact, it's piss poor. 201 light seconds away. Back again in a system with 64 fucking objects. Doesn't look like I'm going to explore any of
Fuel
them.
scooping complete.
Now the last clip ended rather suddenly because, well, it was fucking, what do you call it? How far is that thing away? Too far. ShadowPlay fucking up, and the bit you saw was all that was recorded. As it is, it's not necessarily a bad thing because, well, the supergiant was utter shite, so it's not a particularly bad thing that I wasn't able to record too much more beyond what you saw there. Okay, I might explore all three. Now, as you can see, I'm only 5 jumps away from my planned destination. But that is not the Hyuqu AA-A H14 Nebula. That is my ultimate destination, but I have another nebula that I will be passing on the way. And well, as you saw, I'm 5 jumps from it. Now, it's not that one there, that's actually behind me. This other one is fairly small, but it is the Phraa Byoe AA-A H14 Nebula. Once I've scanned these gas giants, I'll actually be able to show you what it looks like. Not that you haven't seen it before. It looks like, you know, so many other fucking nebulae that we've already seen a million times already. In fact, it looks like a smaller version of the Hyuqu Nebula that I'm on my way to, so no. Now, I haven't actually been playing this game very much the last few days. But over the last 3 days I've played it for about an hour. I am getting rather bored with it. And even though I'm trying to keep my expectations regarding No Man's Sky realistic, I can't help but think at last something better is on the horizon. I'm not sure if I will be pre-ordering it, but there's a good chance I will end up doing that. I mean, it does say a lot about the repetitive nature of this game and how No Man's Sky should be better. Well, the fact that two of the players I know who used to play this game the most by a long way, neither of them have played it for quite some time. As of course Rifferjack and Alpha November. So anyway, let's closer look at the nebula that we are approaching. Let's say I'm 5 jumps away from it. So I'll be back when we are about to go in. Right, this system is as shit as it gets. Brown dwarf star, only 4 planets, all completely worthless. Next jump is the one that takes me into the nebula. So, well, I think we know what we're going to see, but let's take a look anyway. I think this system that I'm jumping to is in a fairly good place. It is quite central from what I could tell. So,
drive charging.
Well, here we go. Now, with it having the B designation, I suspect that if it does have any planets that I can land on, they're going to be worthless ones. You know, nothing remarkable here. But we can still take a look at this nebula from the surface of the planet with any luck. Okay, it looks like, as I keep saying, it looks like one we've seen a million times already, but it is nevertheless a nebula that is 37,000 light years away from the populated zone, or over 37,000. Doesn't look like I've lucked out here. Put it this way, if there are planets I can land on, I'm fucking not going to them. Not at 93,000 away. Okay, so there's one. Yeah, 94,000 away. And for the first time for fuck knows how long, I arrived in a system that someone has already explored. All I can say is that Johnny XXX must have one serious boredom threshold if he travelled all that way to scan a brown dwarf and a load of icy worlds. I mean, there is fuck all there. I am not going to travel 94,000 light seconds for that. Now, everything's too far away here, so this place is shit. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Now, I put all the Class M's up because I figured they will be the best systems to visit within the nebula. What about this one? It's pretty close. It looks, yep, that's inside. Fuck it, let's go there. See what you're all about. And it looks like we're in a very dark region of the nebula, because we are a reasonable distance from the stars. And yet the nebula is still very dark indeed.
Frameshift drive charging.
And it looks like this region that I'm heading to is not going to be any brighter. Let's see what we have here.
Fuel scooping.
22.
Fuel scooping complete.
That looks a bit better. Let's see what they are. Oh, for fuck's sake, it's another one of these. Okay, it's not too bad. Those two are probably too far away, but these ones aren't. So if I scan that one, or I can land on, well, all but that one. So I can pretty much land wherever I like here, from the looks of things.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Certainly see that the nebula cloud is still surrounding us. Right, so that's that shitty M star scanned. Now this one we want to get closer to, because after we scan it, we then want to land on one of the planets that are orbiting it. So fuck it, may as well go with this one, seeing as it's the closest. It's high metal content, so that's okay. It may not be a complete waste of time. Who am I trying to kid? Now normally with multiple light sources like it has, it could be difficult to spot where the dark side actually is, but because of the good old rudimentary systems that have been used in the game, we should have no problems being able to tell which side is the dark side. Now it's orbiting a brown dwarf, so I wouldn't have thought it would illuminate the nebula very much, but then bearing in mind that I did land on a planet where the only star was a black hole, and it still illuminated the ambient light quite considerably, I don't think we'll have any trouble here. It looks like it has quite a few features. Of course we're not going to see them that well. We're going to land well on the dark side. Fucking hell, this planet's small. I'm not seeing very much in the way of fuck it, we're already dropping from the orbital groups. Alright, well we're not going to see a great deal in the way of the surface here. This place is very dark. Now something glider is enabled, but I seem to still have this blue haze around me saying that okay, there we go. I don't remember the blue haze being there all the time while the glide was done. Mind you, that's probably because I'm on such a dark planet. And I can't see a great deal of the nebula, but what's there does look quite good. So I mean, it's pure luck, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to descend straight down, because obviously we cannot see a fucking thing on the surface. I have no idea what it's like below us. So let's just head down and hope for the best. You know? And even when I was in the Horsehead Nebula, I still, you know, had plenty of ambient light on the planet's surface. You know, I could quite easily make out surface features. But here, there is absolutely fuck all. I can't see a fucking thing. I'm going to have to put the ship's lights on, in the hope that then, you know, I may actually be able to see. Whoops, I'm coming down a bit hard. Yeah. And we're in some unsuitable terrain. This area it does look quite flat. It can't be that bad, surely. There we go. Well, this isn't what I was expecting. At least that means there is something new here. So, oh, fuck it, we'll stick with that one. Off we go. Definitely going to need the lights kept on here. In fact, I'm putting the high beams on. Although the high beams don't really make any difference, it just means that the light in the area is brighter. They don't illuminate any further ahead, so they haven't been very well done. There's a surprise. So okay, we can see the nebula around, especially there. That does look quite good. But we're in a very dark region of it, which is not a bad thing, you know. I'm okay with that. It means we get to see something a bit different. I think this is a metallic meteorite I'm approaching. No, it's not. It's a fucking outcrop. Alright. It's just got sulfur, nickel, chromium, zinc. Oh, now zinc I think I need, even though it's a common one. I've got 15 of them already. I can't remember what it was that I needed zinc for. Not that, not that, not that. So was it the AFM refill? Yeah, that's why I wanted zinc. I have this horrible feeling I'm going to need AFM refills during my trip back. I'm not going to be using a huge number of them, only 2 at a time. So, like, it will just increase the stat by 1. Whoopie fucking doos. There we go. Alright. Was that one chromium, wasn't it? Yeah. Bollocks to it. I mean, that does look quite impressive. You know, I am almost loath, as you know, to praise the game, but that does look pretty good. I'm also loath to do the old, you know, screenshot routine, but let's just see if we can. Yeah, that'll do. Right, well, because it is so dark, and because, you know, it is a nebula we've seen before, although not from this sort of dark angle, I'm not going to stop here long. This will do. So let's go back to the ship. Now, the next nebula is, of course, my ultimate destination, and I think I am still quite away from it. I must still be some 7,000 light years away from it, and judging by the stats, it is going to be the last place I visit. Right, let's get back into the ship, and then we'll take a look at how much further we have to go. Alright, so let's get off here. lights off. Right.
Frameshift drive charging. Engage.
Okay, so let's just make sure, yeah, there is nothing dead ahead. Now my stats currently are systems visited 6,418. So I have another, what, 582 to go before I turn back. Max distance from the start is 37,410. Total height space distance of 197,683. So I'm about I am 817 light years shy of 50,000 covered on this trip. Total height space jumps to 11,227. So I've certainly got the mileage under me. Now, turn off the M class for the moment. So this is where we are. These are just blue whites, aren't they? What about you? Yeah, you are as well. This one's closer. In fact, I can do that in one jump. So I'll make that the next place. But my next destination, well, my next ultimate destination anyway, is I think I spelt that right. Hyuqu, yep, AA-A H14, which is all the way over here. There it is. And this one is fucking huge. I'm 5,791 away from it. So that's what, about 300 jumps. No, it's not. No, it's nothing like 300 jumps. What am I talking about? Well, so 1,000 is 30. Average is about 35 jumps, we'll say, for 1,000. So it is. Oh, it's far enough anyway. Whoops! I pressed the right fucking key. So, well, there you go. That was the Phraa Byoe AA-A H14 Nebula. Didn't look bad from the planet's surface, but it's a nebula we've seen loads of times already. We didn't need to really dwell on it. I mean, the Hyuqu one's going to be the same. It's just that it's vast. It's so much bigger. But this area of space I'm in now is so much like the populated zone in terms of system density that well, it's almost like, you know, exploring the home region.
Fuel scooping.
So I'm definitely on like the last last legs of this trip outwards. I will be going back pretty soon. Less than 600 jumps, I think, was it? Yeah. So 681 jumps, and then I'll be turning back. But now I'm in the Bleefy region. Fuck only knows what's in here. Probably a whole load of fuck all, which has been the case for a lot of the regions I've entered lately. So, well, I will be back then when there is something to come back to, which could actually end up being the next video, because well, why not? I haven't put a video up of the gameplay for a few days, so let's try and keep it somewhat up to date. So that's this video done. We'll be back at the start of the next video once I am probably a lot closer to the Hyuqu Nebula, or if I find something interesting on the way. I suspect it'll be the former. Right, there you go. Now go away. Well, there may be an additional clip at the end of this current video after all, if ShadowPlay will work, which is not
4,
guaranteed
3,
at the moment
2,
in time.
1. Engage.
This jump that I'm just doing is significant. Once we actually arrive at the system. And the reason this one is significant is because my total hyperspace distance is now 198,520, which means that I have now passed 50,000 light years on this trip, about 50,020 to be exact. So it's brought me up to 6,446 systems visited. Max distance from the start is up to 37,954, and I must, is it 7? Yeah, 7 jumps away from, well, the end of this 1,000 light years that I can travel. I'm still a long way from the nebula, but there we are, 50,000 covered in this trip. So that is something of a milestone. I certainly never thought when I started playing this that I would do any kind of exploration trip that would involve me travelling 50,000 light years in, you know, the one expedition. But there you are, I've done it. So yeah, and I have more to go. Right, well, there you go. So that definitely is it for this video. So now go away.